Greetings, Wolfpack, and welcome back to another box opening. On today's table, we have Mansions of Madness, Arkham Horror board game. This is a really fun game, 2 to 5 players, where 4 players are playing the investigators, and 1 player is playing the keeper. The whole goal of this board game is the keeper is trying to stop the investigators of finding out clues and winning the story, depending on what story you picked, and investigators are trying to find all the clues to beat the keeper. So let's get right into it. Now this game does have a lot of expansions to it. I think there was like 16 at one time. Most of them are little booklets, but there are a few extra pieces. One of them right here is Season of the Witch expansion. It came with 2 witch pieces and of course the story and everything. So, and it comes with the setup, the keeper setup, the investigator setup, and the story on what's going on. Okay, now with the expansion out of the way, we're going to get right into it. So, of course, you have the rules of playbook, which tells you, well, of course, the rules. It's pretty well detailed, very nice. And then on the back of it is the investigators guide. This is the setup, how to set up the investigators. Mainly, it's on how the map is and the story and how they're supposed to set up. Next up, we have the keeper's guide. So while the investigators are setting up, so is the keeper separately, and he has to, you know, when he's setting up, usually the other players need to be away so he can put what he needs on the board. So it's pretty well just tells you how the keeper works, etc. and all that. It's really nice. This is the thing I like about this game, is it's not one huge board game. It's actually multiple little boards. It's double-sided, so you set them up depending where the doors are. So you set them up like so on the table, which is neat. And there's 100 ways you can set them up. So you have a few big ones, a few medium, so you have quite a few here. Let's drop that one. Let's get all the boards out of the way. Now also, Mansions of Madness is also based on H.P. Lovecraft monsters, I do believe. So kind of the darker. We have cards here. These are, you have your beast cards, your brown cards, you know that. And I'll just pull out one. So this is one of the attack cards. So instead of rolling dice, you actually draw a card. Well, you still roll a dice, but it's not a 6-sided or 20. You're actually rolling a 10-sided, depending. And of course, it's details. I don't know how what is going to come in. This is a ranged weapon attack. So it tells you what you're supposed to roll. So, for example, you caught the monster in sights, test marksmanship. If you pass, the shot punctures its lung, dealing weapon damage +2. Fail, your shot grazes the shoulder, altering it to your presence, deal 1 damage. The keeper may then move any monster up to 2 spaces. And there's also the monster attack cards too. But yeah, you're going to have a lot of cards. You're going to have your monster cards, item cards, weapon cards, keeper cards. I would show you all, but there's so much. Character cards. So here's more cards. So these are all cards, by the way, I've been pulling out. So let's get all the cards out of the way. There's more cards. Okay, here's the investigators and the 10-sided dice. So it will come with one 10-sided dice and eight or nine investigators. And of course they're gray, so it means you can paint these if you want. So here's your investigators. Just low tokens. These are yeah, I can't even pronounce the word. Tokens for the investigators. We have pieces that go on the boards. So block doors, traps, corpses, fire, campfires, depending on your story. We have more stuff. This is mainly for the keeper. These are numbered squares based on the story and the choices the keeper picked for the players to go through. Yeah, so with the keeper, he picks a story, and you can pick like 3 different ways the story can be played out. 3 or 4 different ways, so there's a lot of replayability. And I think it comes with almost, it comes with 5 or 6 stories. It's nice. You have more tokens, fear tokens, dark tokens, time tokens to keep track of everything. Okay, let's get these back in there. So those are those. Now, okay, what's it over here? Oh yeah, another thing. I'm just pull out one bag. You're gonna have puzzles that the players have to figure out in so many turns. That's a really neat mechanic. It's a little time consuming, but you can put a time limit on each puzzle for depending if you have someone who likes to take their time. There's 3 or 4 different puzzles depending on what you pick. That's how I'll say out. And here's my favorite part. I think I'm missing. Now, this is the monsters. These are the monsters you send out. So, of course, they get put on bases. So here's their bases. I would take one out together, but gosh, it'll be a pain to get this stuff in. But they go on bases, and of course they're gray. I'm just gonna pull out one of the biggest ones here. Yeah. So here's one of the biggest monsters. Very nasty, very neat, and like I said, they're gray, so you really can paint these. But the keeper controls the monsters. Investigators are trying to work together to overthrow the keeper, vice versa. But there you go. There's the box open of Mansions of Madness. There's a lot, not too long. It's a very fun game. Has multiple ways you can play. Really fun. I really enjoyed this. I think this is kind of the first game that started started my collection of events games. And that's not gonna go in now. I don't think I can go back in the box like it said. But this one's really fun if you are low like co-op-ness. I mean, 4 players are working against 1 player, so that's neat. But anyways, Mansions of Madness box opening. If you enjoy this series of the box openings, tell me down in the comments below. Otherwise, check my annotations for other videos I've done. And you see this lone wolf in the next video / game. Bye!